Welcome to today's edition of Crypto Corner at InvestorIdeas.com. News on what's driving the cryptocurrency market. Hello everyone, this is Sam Mowers here and welcome to episode 535 of the Crypto Corner podcast. For news today, Bitcoin seems to have bounced back from another dip. Square and MicroStrategy have bought more Bitcoin, and Argo blockchain has begun trading on the OTCQX today. Just before we get into the show, a quick reminder that if you enjoyed this podcast, please feel free to share it or leave us a review. And while you're at it, I recommend checking out some of the other podcasts on InvestorIdeas.com. Some of these include the Clean Tech and Climate Change podcast, as well as the Cannabis podcast. Both of those will bring you up to speed on the latest stock news and trends in their respective spaces. So Bitcoin, at the time of recording, is trading for about $49,600, or roughly the same as it was when we reported on yesterday's Crypto Corner. This is according to data from CoinMarketCap. In the past 24 hours, however, it hasn't been a straight line. It got as low as $45,586 and as high as $51,290. An excerpt from an article on CoinDesk by writer Omkar Godbole sheds a bit of light on this. Quote, Bitcoin's plunge to $45,000 this week triggered long liquidations worth over $2 billion, according to data source Coinalyze. Long liquidation refers to a forced unwinding or selling of bullish trades by exchanges, which often leads to an exaggerated price drop. Forced closure happens when the price drops beneath a predetermined limit, the liquidation price, creating a margin shortage on leveraged positions. Essentially, over-leveraged traders have exited the market over the past 2 days, hence the chances of a deeper pullback previously anticipated by some analysts looks to have dropped. End quote. Bloomberg reports that Square Inc., which trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol SQ, has purchased another $170 million in Bitcoin, bringing its holdings to about 5% of the company's cash and equivalents. Square's chief financial officer, Amrita Ahuja, said the investment, quote, really comes down to the alignment with our purpose and aligning our incentives with cryptocurrency and more broadly expanding the economic empowerment opportunities and making them acceptable more broadly in a fair way around the world, end quote. She went on to say, quote, Bitcoin has the potential to be a native currency of the internet, and we want to continue to participate and learn in a disciplined way, end quote. Square also filed an earnings report with the SEC, which indicated, according to CoinDesk, that it made $4.57 billion in Bitcoin revenue in 2020, with $97 million of that going to the company in gross profit. Furthermore, selling Bitcoin on the company's Cash App contributed to 48% of total consolidated revenue in 2020 and 85% of the total increase in consolidated net revenues in 2020. MicroStrategy, which trades on the Nasdaq under the ticker symbol MSTR, announced today that it had purchased an additional 19,452 Bitcoins for approximately $1.026 billion in cash at an average price of approximately $52,765 per Bitcoin, inclusive of fees and expenses. According to the press release, the company holds an aggregate of approximately 90,531 Bitcoins, which were acquired at an aggregate purchase price of approximately $2.171 billion. MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor said, quote, the company remains focused on our two corporate strategies of growing our enterprise analytics software business and acquiring and holding Bitcoin. The company now holds over 90,000 Bitcoins, reaffirming our belief that Bitcoin, as the world's most widely adopted cryptocurrency, can serve as a dependable store of value. We will continue to pursue our strategy of acquiring Bitcoin with excess cash, and we may from time to time, subject to market conditions, issue debt or equity securities in capital-raising transactions with the objective of using the proceeds to purchase additional Bitcoin. End quote. Argo blockchain, which trades on the LSE under the ticker symbol ARB, has qualified to trade on the OTCQX Best Market. upgrading it to the OTCQX from the OTCQB venture market. The company starts trading today on the OTCQX under the ticker symbol ARBKF. That does it for today's Crypto Corner. If you would like to be a guest or sponsor for this podcast, contact InvestorIdeas.com. Investor Ideas reminds all listeners to read our disclaimers and disclosures on the InvestorIdeas.com website. And this podcast is not an endorsement to buy products, services, or securities. Investors are reminded all investment involves risk and possible loss of investment. To hear more InvestorIdeas.com podcasts, please visit InvestorIdeas.com/audio. And a reminder, you can also hear our podcasts on Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio.com, and Google Play Music.